Hello, for this video we're going to be looking at how you can set your tasks up to certain particular groups, look at how we can feedback and respond, and then go through sort of how it's all recorded and the mark sheets and everything as well. So for this we're going to look at our Year 12 folders in here. So if we go in here we can see how it's set out. So if we just go into one of the topics, and we can see if we look at inquiry question 1, we can see we've got the background to it, all of the individual pages, and we've got an assessment folder here. So all of these are set up on the pages at all times. Now it's quite easy that if I just click on the test that I want, here we can see, and then all I need to do is scroll down to the bottom of it and copy page to task description. And then that will bring up a list at some point of the different groups that you can give it to. So it's just like setting a normal task within there, and you put all of the information in. So that's a really simple way of doing it. Now, what is good is you have a look at some of these different factors here. So, for example, is this task visible to your markbook, to the parent portal? And are the students required to submit a file? Now this will apply, and what I tend to do with mine is if they're writing an essay, I will want them to do it as a Word document and then attach it to Firefly. This means that everything is linked in. Also, by putting it into a Word document, Firefly will convert it to a PDF for you, which allows you to do some interesting things on feedback with it as well. Also, you might want to think about how you're going to grade it, so you can choose different options there, and you could add success criteria and things like that as well. So that's one simple way of using the pages within your Firefly setup and be able to set those to different students. So I set my Year 12s an essay planning task, and we've not really done essays yet. And so to do this remotely was quite a challenge. So if we go into the task that I set up and click on here on my tasks page, and if I have a look at my task overview, you can see how I set it up. So we've got all the information that we put in there. The file is required, the overall mark out of 12. I've attached an assessment feedback form that I give to the students. So that's the success criteria that they're going through. And then we've also got within the description of what I want them to do. Now, because it's the first time they've really started writing essays, I'd also produced a whole range of different videos looking at how to structure it, what the command words mean, giving them example essays and talking them through comparative judgments and reverse engineering to show what's good about them, how they could be improved. And there were lots of little tasks within this. This has been a 2-week plan, but they can work on it on their own time. And the feedback from the kids has been pretty positive, is that they like the fact that they can work through it. Also on the Firefly pages, I've also linked the PowerPoints that I used for each of these as well. So they've got all of those resources to help them. Now, this is good for remote learning, but I'm planning on using these in the future as well, particularly with sort of the time restrictions on Year 12. So this is really good that they can go back to this every time they plan an essay or they do it. They can go back to any of these rather than me having to teach them again, because we all know kids forget very, very quickly. So what does it look like when it comes through? So we're back on the task responses page now. Now we can see this isn't due until the end of this week, so we've got time, but a few of them have worked really well on it. So if we just choose this unnamed person here, and you can see that it comes out, it's got all the task description, and you can see the file, and you've got an option to download it as well. Now if you click on view file, might take a minute or two, a few seconds, over exaggerating there, and what this does is it converts it to a PDF. But this does give you some very interesting tool for feedback. Now you see here you've got all of these different little tabs at the top that you can use. So it may be that quite simply you just choose the pen tab and you can just sort of circle or highlight it or draw little smiley faces and things like that on it, whatever you want to do. But if you don't like that, then you can simply click on that undo button or undo all. So it's really good to have a play around. So it may be that you want boxes around different bits of work, etc. Or it may be that you just want to highlight different things. Now what's good is if you go into the highlight tab and you can just highlight a bit of work on here and it highlights one particular phrase. Now if you right click on that, if you just click left click on that, it brings up style and you can choose different colors for it. So it may be that, okay, we'll go with this color, whatever that color is. I have no idea how you describe that. And then you can add a note. So you'll see this little sticky notes tab. So you can put this in and you can put it alongside it. Now what you want to do is maybe get this note to match the color of that. So you can see that this note links in. And you could just put it in. And for some random comment, good start using key terms from completely made that up just to fill it in. And you can see it really is as simple as that. So once that's in, you can close that down, get rid of that, and you click on that so they can click on it, and you can see that you've got the reference there. So you can actually feedback on individual parts of it. It may be if they've got waffle, you can sort of just get rid of stuff on there as well. So you can actually give different bits of feedback on there. And that's worth having a play around depending how you want to do it. Now the other thing you can do is click the download tab. That will come up in your file. And one thing that I like to do, as well as giving individual feedback in this manner, it's also something you can do is you can copy and paste different sections of it. Oh, don't want that. Get rid of that. You can see I'm still playing with it here. So now for some reason it won't sort of let you copy and paste from there, but if you download it, and then what I sometimes do, if I find a really good bit or a bit I want to work on, I can copy it and I can simply then paste that into a PowerPoint. Now what I will then do, as well as giving individual pupil feedback, I can then use this for some class feedback as well. So I'll put some relevant bits. It might be a really good paragraph or comparing sort of 3 or 4 different paragraphs and talk around it and posing questions for the pupils. Because as you know, that if you get them to see good examples, if you get them discussing the good and bad points and the improvements that could be made, or it may be that they can go through and highlight, right, what is the point that's been made? Where is the evidence? Where's the explanation? Where's the implicit and where's the explicit judgment that comes through it? So by having these examples and talking them through, you can also do class feedback on them as well as the individualized feedback. Now there is also talk of hopefully Firefly linking this to oral feedback as well. So you'll be able to record yourself reading through different bits, or it may be that you can attach as your feedback a video file or a podcast type file as well. So you can feedback in many different ways. So we don't need to save that because I've not done it yet. So there we go. So that's sort of the ways and some of the different tools you've got to feedback on it. Now, what is really good about Firefly, and hopefully going for the future, it should really help, is that it can keep a record of all of your scores and all of the feedback. So if we have a look, you can see that I've not really used it prior to lockdown, but having the time, you can now start to see that I can have all of my mark book on here. And what's also good is I can click on any on these. So if I click on this one here, 83%, well, why did they only get 83%? And I automatically have all of the information. So I can have a look at the completed worksheet. And as we look through it, you can see you've got the answers that were given there and any possible feedback that you may have given as well. So it's a really good tool for being able to store everything remotely, but I'm hoping that I can get to use this in the future as well. So it's going to make it so much easier to move away from a paper-based resource. All of my evidence of feedback and marks and sort of ongoing class weaknesses, strengths, helping me to inform my future teaching should really be able to help, because I've got everything I need in one place. The way that we set it up, we can have the different key terms tests. We can see that, most of them have got 100% on this one, but some of them are struggling here. What do I need to do to support them on all of this? There really is so much that Firefly can do. And to be honest, most of it I found out just by having a little play around with it. But hopefully this video has given you a bit of food for thought on how you can set tasks to particular groups, how you can respond to essays in different ways, but also the recordings and the mark sheets of them all as well. So if you've got any questions, please don't hesitate to email me. I can either produce another video to help you or just respond directly to you. So thanks for watching. See you again. Bye.